number 2 of our beginner workout series. Today we have 6 new exercises. You're going to need a set of dumbbells. I'm going to use a medium weight dumbbell, so I'm going to use 5 pounds. And you'll want a mat because we're going to go to the floor. I'll give you a variation if you don't want to do that. You need a chair, and then again I have my step. So you can use the bottom step on your staircase if you don't have something to step onto. We're going to go to the floor for exercise 1. If going to the floor is a challenge for you, I have some alternatives for you that I'll share in a second. But this first exercise is really good for building core strength and the back line of the body. So we're going to go to the floor, and it's called a bridge. You may have heard of it, you may have tried it. And you're going to set up so that you've got your ankles, your knees, and your hips in the same line. Second toe is in line as well, so you don't have your feet turned out and you don't have your feet turned in. You don't want to let your knees cave and you don't want to let your knees fall open. Hands are setting down next to your hips for support, and you're going to breathe out as you press up. Now you're going to activate from the back line of the body, and you're going to activate from the core, from the abs, and then you're going to set that back down. We're going to aim for 12 to 15 repetitions. I want you to hold and pause at the top for a few counts and then come down. Breathe out and breathe in. Keep this engaged in the front so it's not just the back. If you want to make that harder, you're going to scoot so that you've got your feet elevated on something, and then you've got a larger range. So if I put my feet on a chair or on a step or something like that, I can make that harder. I can also make it harder by holding at the top for longer, and I can make it a little bit harder by doing a single leg. That's quite a bit harder, so I would work my way up to that. But that's the bridge exercise. You're going to aim for 12 to 15 repetitions. If you don't want to go to the floor, here is a variation for you. You're going to stand, let me think here. You're going to bend forward and place your hands on a couch or a chair, and you're going to lift your legs straight behind you. Because what we're aiming to do is access those same muscles that we pressed up, used to press up in the bridge. It's going to be less core this way, but going to the floor can be a challenge for people who've got rehab issues or tricky knees, so I wanted to give you a variation. You'll have to do both legs if you do that variation. Exercise 2, you're going to need your dumbbells. We're going to work shoulders. You're going to keep your elbows bent at a 90-degree angle, and your palms are facing the center. Knees are slightly bent, abs are engaged. You're going to simply lift your arms straight up to the side and then come back down. I want your elbows wide, so I don't want them in front. I don't want them to be pulled way back, but I want them coming straight out of the shoulder. And I don't want you to leave the dumbbell behind. So no internal rotation. The shoulder comes in when that happens, so the palm is facing the floor at the top of this move. You can make this more challenging by lifting heavier weights, and you can slow down the tempo so you can lift and really resist down nice and slow to make it harder. 12 to 15 repetitions. The biggest challenge there is the weight. So if this is too easy after you do a set of 15, then you can try to lift heavier weights or slow it down, hold a little bit longer at the top. So that's a bent arm shoulder raise. And exercise 3. We are going to, again, work the core a little bit, and we're going to work the front of the legs. So make sure you are securely on that chair. Hands wherever you need for balance. You can be here, or if you need a little assistance, hold the bottom of the chair. You're going to lift a leg and then extend it, focusing on the muscles right here, and then bend and set it down. You're going to try not to let this happen with your back, no rounding forward. So stay upright, just lift through the rib cage straight up, extend, bend, set it down. Do all one leg, all the repetitions, and then repeat on the other leg. If that is too much, then alternate. Do one with the right, one with the left. It's not a kick, so there's no snapping of that leg there. You lift, purposefully extend so that you access these muscles, and then set this down. This one is extremely practical too, because we're getting out of cars where we have to stand inside or lift our leg out and over. So things like this are really good to access the front. If you want to make that harder, you're going to stand. You might want to hold something for balance, but you can lift and extend. That's quite a bit harder, but that is a nice variation if the seated one is too easy for you. So those are the first 3 exercises. For the 4th exercise in this workout, we're going to do front raises. Again, I'm going to use my medium dumbbells. These are 5 pounds. I'm going to start with my arms extended. Knees are always a little bit soft. You don't want to lock out your joints. A little bit soft, abs are engaged, palms facing the center line of the body. You're going to lift in front and then resist it down. These are front raises. You're going to feel this in the front of your shoulders. But if I use heavier weights, I even feel it in my core. I feel it in my upper back. I want you to lower the weight a little bit slower than you bring it up. I don't want you to swing. So sometimes people lift and then they have one of these where they let it swing down and back. First of all, that can be a little bit risky on the joint, but it also takes a lot of the work out of it and you don't get as much muscle building from that. So it's very controlled. Lift, resist it down, stop. Lift, resist it down, stop. That is exercise 4. Exercise 5 is another step up, but we're going to change this and make this a little bit more challenging. You may want to be on a regular stair so that you've got something to hold on to, the wall or a railing. You're going to start with one leg up top. The whole foot is on the step. Weight goes mostly through the heel, and you're going to step up, raise a knee, and step down, but you're going to keep the leg up. So we're not bringing it down like we did in workout number 1. So we're going to step up, lift the knee, step down. Step up, lift the knee, step down. That might be a little much. You can still tap and come down because since we're not giving that leg much of a rest, you can just tap to begin with, then you can move it up to the knee. I like to keep my arms here because that keeps my core activated. If I'm down here, I don't get much help from the upper body. If I'm here, they call this fighting stance, then it helps me to engage these muscles. 12 to 15 on one leg, repeat it on the other leg. And then, set at an angle. We're going to grab one dumbbell this time. We're going to sit in our chair and we're going to do an overhead tricep extension. So I'm going to start with this weight in one hand and I'm going to lift it straight overhead. The other arm is available for support. You're going to lower this weight behind your head and then exhale. Things that you want to watch out for. When I lower the weight, it's tempting to arch my back. I don't want that to happen, so I keep this engaged. No movement in the spine. Inhale down, exhale, press. These can get challenging pretty quick. Usually the first 3 or 4 aren't too bad, and then by halfway, you're really feeling it. If this becomes too challenging with your dumbbell, you can go to a lighter weight. You can do it without a dumbbell. You can hold a towel in your hand and just get the range down. Inhale down, exhale, press. I feel that in my core because I'm trying really hard to sit up straight. Okay, those are the 6 exercises. In workout number 2, again, aim for 1, 2, or 3 sets. That's all written out for you. Rest between each set, and then come back to see workout number 3 in our beginner series.